Hello, welcome to V8 Online's live and exclusive coverage of the Iracing V8 Supercar Series, broadcasting glorious high definition with thanks to our good friends at Extreme Sim Gear, Direct Clutch Services, and of course V8 Supercar Fan Group. I'm your host HSV Sam, and joining in, sliding in to the main seat for Jay Kennedy, who's obviously still feeling a little bit crook, and fingers crossed we get to see him back next week. But sitting next to me as always, Corey Henger, my wingman for tonight. How you going, Corey?
Yeah, good mate. It's good to be back, and I'll tell you what, we're in for an interesting race after watching that qualifying session with the likes of John Emerson there, pipping Madison down for that front row. I think it's going to be an absolute cracker.
Yeah, amazing time for Justin Ruggie. It'll be interesting to see if anyone can stop him. But interesting place circuit, Zolder, 25 laps, and guys only have to save a fraction of fuel, which is good, and should make for some great racing. And like you've touched on in qualifying, such little grip round here, so these guys are going to have their work cut out for them, no doubt.
Yeah, it's going to be challenging. It's got very little grip in this car. Now I'll let you run through the grid real quick before we go to the race, Sam, man.
Just wait for these pictures to come through. Of course, so much interest in this race, and just waiting for the images to come up. If you've got them there, Corey, I'll let you take it away.
Yes, I do. Justin Ruggie took the pole, as we said, in qualifying, 31.632, 2 tenths clear of John Emerson, who's in P2. Madison down P3, slightly off John Emerson, only about 2/100ths of a second. Val Richards in third, a couple of tenths even further back there. Mitchell McLeod 5, Robert Hartley in 6, Michael Fabian 7, Lee Ellis in 8. So great job continuing the form from last week there for Lee. Sean Kelly in 9. Matthew Hill rounds out the top 10 there, the last run lap in the final qualifying session rather. Tony Ortridge in P11 with a 1:32.9. Michael Creaner or Michelle Creaner, I'm not quite sure on the pronunciation of that one. But he's in P12. Chris Lucky in 13. Thomas Guarini making a return to the series in 14th. Thomas Aram, I think, making his debut to the series. I know I've spoken to him a fair bit before about sports car stuff. I know he was keen to get involved in this, but he's in P15 for tonight. John Latham in 16. Samuel Collins in 17. Andre Boldy, the guy we spoke about, the DWC driver, making a return again this week in P18. Marty Atkins in 19th. Wayne Hewitt in 20th. Go back to the final few positions now. Carwin May, 21st. Mate Lorenzicki, I think that one is. I might have to get Sam Man to pronounce that one for me later on. In 22nd, Jonathan Salhani, 23rd. Brad Ryan, no qualifying time actually for Brad, in 24th. And Jason Brunton rounds out the field of a full grid of 25 cars.
25 cars, 25 laps. Going to be a great race, and like we said, traction's a big issue around here. It's not all that much grip around here, but these guys will battle their way through it, and should be good fun as they barrel through the chicanes as these tyres wear on, and especially as the grids all bunched up at the start. Should make for some interesting viewing.
It is a tight grid here, that's for sure, and that run into turn 1 sort of narrows up a bit on the entry, then widens out again on the exit. Looking now, about a minute left in the warm-up session. Guys just going through, make sure their setups are alright, their hardware's all good to go.
So 4 kilometres around this circuit, Zolder, 10 turns. Tell you what, looks easy when you sort of draw it out on pen and paper, but like we said to Madison, as soon as you jump in the driver's seat, there's some quite tricky turns around here.
Yeah, there is. I mean, there's tight chicanes and obviously the tight hairpin at the end of the circuit, and then you've got the sort of wide flowing 1, 2, 3 part of the track. But I'll tell you what, isn't this one of the most beautiful race tracks we have on Iracing? Just looking at it, and I'm glad we can broadcast this to everyone here in HD because it looks absolutely amazing.
Speaking of kicking back, watching the race, message and a photo from Ben Rothberg, who's actually kicking back in his lounge room, watching the broadcast on his 50-inch plasma. So he's kicking back, watching it in style. So g'day to Ben, and we appreciate the photo, mate. And of course, anyone else is out there enjoying the broadcast, send us a photo and maybe drop it on our Facebook page. It'd be interesting to see how everyone's kicking back and watching our broadcast. It's good that everyone takes the time out and enjoys the work that we do. A lot of work goes behind the scenes with Seb especially, and we enjoy bringing it to you each and every week.
Warm-up now over. Drivers starting to take to the grid. Interesting to see Brad Ryan in 24th. Obviously hasn't qualified for this race. It'll be interesting to track his progress throughout the race, I think.
Young man Ivy's work cut out for him that far back, and fair bit of talent up and down the field, and a bit of a tight, twisty track. So, yeah, might have to kick back and have a look at those stats throughout the race and just track his progress, like you said.
Wait now. The final cars take to the grid.
So everyone on board, all gridded up. We hear the revs rise, waiting for the lights. We'll be charging to turn one. And they're underway.
Oh, so we've got a stalled car on the grid. There looks like Jonathan Salhani went absolutely nowhere. Cars ducking and weaving now into turn one, trying to find any positions they can. Oh, Brad Ryan's actually touching back to Andre Boldy there in into one. His teammate Sean Kelly gets sideways out of one there, so not too good for the lazy man racing.
We knew it was always going to be tricky back there, but looks like so far so good. A little bit of nose to tail, but up front, it's all happening.
Oh, we've got a car off. It looks like Lee Ellis, I think, was off the road there.
Oh, heartbreaking stuff for Lee. We'll try and get a replay of that. Lee starting inside the top 10. You mentioned when you were going through the grid just how his progress has been going. Hearing reports that he had contact with Hilly, so bad luck for Lee Ellis there.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to go around the outside at turn 3 there, and contact sent him flying off the racetrack.
So a little bit of chaos at the start. It's Justin Rugger over John Emerson, Madison Down, Farrell Ritchie's, Robert Hartley, Mitch McLeod, Michael Fabian and Matty Hill. And a little bit of a dive back there, Michael Rooney back there. These guys just need to take a bit of a deep breath and get themselves sorted. See, it's been a little bit chaotic, this nose-to-tail action. So many cars on track. It's good to see 25 cars having a red-hot go. But a long way, and it's only lap 1.
Yeah, obviously with being a fuel saver, I think track position is absolute key around here, because if you can get ahead and then sort of just conserve that fuel, it's pay off for you at the end of the day.
That's his battle back here. Michael Fabian, Matty Hill.
Yeah, these two have sort of had a little rivalry going now the last couple of weeks, sort of benching their times off each other, trying to make sure they can beat each other, and Michael got the upper hand in that final qualifying session to jump ahead of Hilly. And everyone using a lot of curve in the chicane there.
It's tricky, isn't it? It's a happy medium to try and get through that chicane, whether you try and push. You don't want to be too conservative because you've got plenty of hungry guys behind you, but you don't want to get too much where you get some sort of penalty.
So Jonathan Salhani also has got going. Yeah, he went absolutely nowhere off the start line, so.
Geez, has a battle up front. Justin Ruggier, John Emerson, John all over him there under brakes. Actually looking quite pacey. Emerson managed to move himself up the grid order 1 spot, getting in front of Madison Down in that final qualifying, and he's doing a good job to sort of keep Ruggier honest at the moment.
Yeah, showing a lot of pace here at Zolder, which is interesting because he won the Zandvoort round, and if I can remember correctly, I think it was Rens Brookman did the double last season in this part of the world, winning both Zandvoort and Zolder. So Emerson may be trying to replicate that feat by Rens last season and do the double. Like Ruggie's got a little bit of gap on him at the moment.
Of course, all these guys have got different setups. They'll start on different tyre pressures, and so some guys may find themselves quick right at the start, and then maybe a little bit later some other guys may be able to find their feet. So it's not all too disheartening, but you don't want to let Ruggier get too much of an advantage, because obviously these guys know they do have to save a fraction of a bit of fuel.
John Latham was having a look up the inside there at the first chicane on Tony Aldridge. Bit of a train happening now behind Sam Collins.
Now we're hearing some more action back there with Lee Ellis and maybe Jason Brunton as we try and get some sort of replay.
Like Ellis coming into the first chicane, went a little bit deep, smacked into the door of Brunton, and then they've actually got tangled up going off into the dirt there. Yeah,
no doubt Lee would be frustrated. Great qualifying result through the week, and yeah, unfortunately, he's had his fair share of dramas at the start of this race, and yeah, sometimes it's you know, when you're already that frustrated, it makes it tough to rip through the field when you know just what sort of result you could have had at the end of the night.
Brad Ryan done a good job from 24th on the grid, currently into 18th, 17th, make that.
It's not a bad effort, is it?
Yeah, a little bit of carnage on those first few laps has really worked out well for him.
We were saying, you said new to the series, Andre Baldi, he's carrying the old, or the new FBR Pepsi Max livery, so it's good to see he's got a bit of the taste of the Aussie flavour in the V8s, and not doing too bad. He's sort of just outside the top 15 there.
Yeah, very talented driver. I think we touched on it last week that you know, he runs in the Iracing Drivers World Championship Series in the Formula 1 car, and so he's got a lot of talent, but he's really showing that it's not that easy to jump in one of these things and be competitive with someone with such good, so much ability rather. Jumping into a car like this with some equally talented drivers is proving to be a task for Andre at the moment. Doing a good job though, nonetheless.
This battle's really heating up front. Justin Ruggie and John Emerson. I was looking at the timesheets, and I was probably thinking to myself a little bit that maybe Ruggier would run away with it, seeing he was sort of 3/10 coming into qualifying. That got him down to 2/10 with Emerson's improvement in qualifying, but Emma's right there, and you know, who knows, is Ruggier saving fuel, or is this genuine outright pace from Emerson?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, it's still pretty early in the race, but like I said, track position is key, so maybe Emerson can just get ahead of Ruggier and then conserve fuel. It could work out for him, but as you said, Ruggier's sort of struggled with fuel consumption in the past, so maybe he's having to conserve a little bit more.
I guess the easiest bit for Ruggier is that he can sort of control the race a little bit. Emma's pretty keen to get the job done. He might dive up the inside here, it's a bit tough in the chicane, but Ruggier probably has got the upper hand where he can sort of save fuel and use the alternate racing line if need be.
Like, she had an incident with Lee Ellis and Wayne Hewitt there. The drama's continuing for Lee at the moment. Might have made some contact with Wayne Hewitt.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's like his night's gone from bad to worse, but never mind, he'll bounce back. So up front, it's Justin Ruggier over John Emerson. Madison Down, pulling away a little bit from Madison Down. Robert Hartley, Vale Riches. Nice little battle there. Vale and Robert Hartley.
He's got Vale on the inside of Hartley. I'd tell you what, hasn't Rob got some pace this week? He's had some tremendous runs in the earlier races throughout the week, and he's really showing he's got a lot of speed this week, currently running in P4.
Yeah, his pace, I've actually been watching him the last sort of month or two, and yeah, his genuine pace throughout the series is just improving week on week, and to be inside the top 5, he's having a great battle with Vale Riches, so good on him. We watch the old Brad Ryan watch in the V8 Supercar Fan Group Falcon. He's now in 16. Tassel on the back of John Latham. He's a hungry boy, old Ryan.
Yeah, that'll be a teammate ahead of him there. So look like John Emerson is getting really close now to the back of Justin Ruggier. He wants that top spot. These TTL cars have sort of always been good on the fuel consumption races too. Always seen good runs with Richard Hampstead, John Emerson and Vale Riches in the past.
The thing that I find interesting that these guys are sort of pulling away and leaving Madison down. A bit of daylight there for third. Madison sort of last time round was 2.1 seconds off this group, and that margin looks like it may have grown. So Ruggier and Emerson fighting it out at the moment up front, and it's a pretty good battle. One thing to take into consideration, you just never know when these guys are saving fuel. Not quite sure how much they do have to save, but it is better off just to save a fraction of fuel than losing all that time and coming in and making a pit stop. So maybe that's what's happening with Madison at the moment. We'll just have to wait and see how this all unfolds.
Here in reports that Lazy Man Racing, Sean Kelly now out of the race as well. I'm not sure if he's fallen down the timing at the moment, so an incident maybe for Kelly, forced through the pit lane and possibly out of the race.
Actually, Sean Kelly is in pit lane. His car's crabbing big time, so he's had a big accident there for Sean Kelly. Big shout out to Kate Donnell, if I got that right, who's kicking back and enjoying the broadcast in bed. It's not a bad idea, is it? Maybe I should get a bed in here in the commentary box. That'd be quite comfortable.
I tell you about it, a little bit more comfortable than this office chair I'm currently sitting in, but the battle continues now with Robert Hartley and Val Richezo. Rob doing a fantastic job. Looks like Vale a little bit sideways there. Maybe pushing a little bit hard. Oh, he has a big look up the inside of the hairpin. Oh. Rob leaves him room. Rob leaves him too much room actually and almost runs off the circuit.
Very gentlemanly. That was the crossover there. No, they all did a great job there. That was nice bit of racing room there.
Yeah, I'd tell you what, that was very nice of Rob because he could see they were coming in a bit deep and he gave him a lot more room than he probably needed to, but it's always better than ending up backwards off the hairpin.
That's right. It's always better to give up a little bit and soldier on for another day. So these guys having a nice little battle. Rob's still looking quite pacey though, so it's not all over yet.
But Mitchell McLeod now has caught up to the back of Robert Hartley, so it's become a three-way battle.
Yeah, and behind him, Michael Fabian. So, and then of course Matty Hill back there too. So it could easily be a 5-car train.
Well, going in very deep there into the corner.
Vale, his pace is good, but he's definitely got his hands full there. Robert Hartley all over the back of him. And Mitch is just seeing, he's just kicking back saying, all right boys, if you guys are going to battle it out, we've seen what happens when two guys start racing pretty hard. Sometimes that the door opens really wide for, or could open really wide for Mitch and can make up the spot before you know it.
Just looking further up front, Justin Ruggier and John Emerson has put up the gap to 4 seconds now with Madison down. So interesting to see if maybe Madison is trying to conserve early and push on later.
Hearing reports maybe a little bit of nose damage to the front of down, not quite sure. Doesn't look too bad on my screen, maybe a little bit on the right front. But still, I don't think that is worthy of 5 seconds. It's a big margin, 5 second difference in just on 9 laps. It's interesting.
Thomas Greeny, Michael Greener at the moment going at it.
So this battle with Greeny and Greener, 9th and 10th overall. These guys got a little bit of breathing margin to Chris, who's back there in 11th, so not too much pressure from behind, but the guys only have to worry about looking forward to see who else they can gobble up, because it's Creaner in 10th, Greeny 9th, Hilly not too much further in front of them for 8th.
Brad Ryan continuing to charge for the pack. Currently up to 13th now, chasing down rather Samuel Collins, and looks like Chris Lucky up ahead.
He's doing everything right, he's staying out of trouble, and it's a good bit of fun to the field from that far back. He wouldn't want to do it every week, but good on him.
Yeah, he's doing a good job, and speaking of doing it right, look at John Emerson all over the back of Justin Ruggier again. He's absolutely trying to get that spot off Justin. So, and you can hear, I just listened to that down the front straight, he lifted off very early, so he's in fuel consumption mode, yet he's still able to attack a lot on the back of Justin at the moment.
It's actually a good idea talking about fuel consumption. That we might just ride on board for a lap with John Emerson and you can listen to how he saves a little bit of fuel around here at Zolder. Geez, I love listening to how these guys roll out of the throttle and just save a bit of fuel. And of course, the one thing that's working in Emerson's favour is that he is tucked up and probably getting a little bit of a sniff of a draft there from Ruggier.
Yeah, that'll be helping him down the straights and, give him the ability to sort of roll off a little bit earlier as well. But I heard it again there into turn one. He rolls off pretty early down there, brakes a little bit later. But it's amazing that these guys now at 5.8 seconds over Madison down. Hearing reports that Jonathan Salani has called it quits for tonight. Had a few dramas off the start line. Yeah, never really sort of recovered after that.
Yeah, it can be a little bit deflating sometimes, can't it, when you're on for a good run, like we said with Lee Ellis. You qualify well, get caught up in some dramas, and it can be quick to burst your bubble sometimes. But never mind, there's always next week. How's this battle back here? Var Richards, Robert Hartley, Mitch McLeod, Michael Fabian. I mean, these guys all in it, having a red hot go. It won't take much for, one of these guys that don't want to make a little mistake, fair to say, and get the left rear or the right rear just off on the grass, because, you can easily lose 2 or 3 positions when these guys are so bunched up. It's really great racing.
Yeah, it's pretty tight at the moment. It's like Michael Fabian catching up to the back of Mitchell McLeod, so I have to wonder how long it's going to be before Mitchell decides to try and put a move on Robert Hartley. Actually had an incident with Thomas Greeny further back. Not sure what's happened. Going to get a replay now. It looks like coming into the hairpin. And there it is, Karina just taps the back of the Easy Works Falcon, spins him around.
And Greeny, while that was all happening, Greeny's had another off. He's just lost it in the last hairpin. Last chicane, sorry.
Getting a bit excited there as I was going back to live pictures. I saw him have another loop. So in the space of a lap, he's dropped down from 9th into 15th, and now he's under attack from Thomas Aram.
The one thing that happens too, you get a couple of spins or get a lot sideways, it can overheat the rears, and you've got to try and bring some of that temperature back. So he's probably he's kicking himself too that he's lost some decent positions, but no doubt there'll be probably a bit more temperature in those rears that he wouldn't like. How's the battle up front? Looks like Ruggier's just got a little bit of breathing space. I'll say half a second's breathing space, but it wasn't too long ago that Emerson was right on his tail. So I think Ruggier will be happy at home, but maybe these guys are just trying to settle themselves down. They're into a nice little rhythm. It's lap 12, so we're almost at the halfway mark of this race. 25 laps, and at the moment it's Justin Ruggier over Emerson, and Emerson is still growing over Madison Dale.
Emerson was very sideways at the last corner there, and lost a couple of tenths to Justin Ruggier in that lap.
As we go and have a bit of a Brad Ryan update. Finds himself in P12 and not too far away from Snitch at 11th with Samuel Collins.
Yeah, he's done a good job so far this race, charged from the back of the pack, and a few guys getting involved in a few incidents, and it's all working out very well for Brad at the moment. Almost in the top 10. You can see Chris up the road there in 10th, so it's not out of the picture just yet.
No doubt put a smile at everyone back at V8 Supercar Fan Group headquarters, because it was unfortunate he didn't get a time through the week, but not a bad charge when you find himself, it was P24 he started, so he's knocking on the door of a top 10, and that'd be an absolute ripper.
Got Carwin May and Marty Atkins getting a little bit close here on track now. Actually, I think Carwin might be the only other ANZ Motorsport driver out on track at the moment with Justin Ruggier.
Yeah, of course, the other two drivers more famously known for their full-time job, Scott McLaughlin and Shane Van Gisbergen. Obviously haven't seen them in the last few weeks. They've obviously had commitments outside of Iracing, but no doubt we'll see them as the year goes on. But the ANZ boys doing a really good job, and I think Ruggier would be fairly happy. He's got great car pace, and those guys always seem to hit the setup right on the nose.
Madison down, still falling off the back of the front pack now. Lost about a 10th in that last lap.
Yeah, we talked about maybe he had a little bit of damage, and it makes me wonder if there is something, if he's carrying something with that car, or because his pace in qualifying was really good compared to the other guys, and it's just strange that he dropped sort of 5.5 seconds now, but plenty of breathing space around him. Bar Ritchie's the next car in line in 4th place, is probably a further 5 or 6 seconds behind him.
McLeod still attacking the back of Powerbond Racing, Robert Hartley at the moment. Bale Richards now just up ahead, pulled a nice little margin just to escape this battle at the moment.
Yeah, you could see that move. He had some good pace over Hartley, and he took a lap or so, and then once he sort of got into a rhythm and up and down, you see it Bale just opened up that little bit of a margin, gives him some breathing space, and Hartley's now looking in his mirror. You see Mitchell McLeod all over him, and Michael Fabian's not all that far back either. So what was a 5-car train not too long ago is just a 3-car battle, and Hartley is pretty keen to hold on and keep that 5th place position.
Sam Collins now coming under attack. Brad Ryan as he starts to really close up on the back of the Cars R Us Falcon. Last time by for Collins was a 35.4 versus Brad Ryan's 34.9, and Chris actually, I bet, was a 35.2. So Brad now, he really does have a shot at this top 10 at the moment.
You're not wrong. He's got his work cut out for him if he wants 9th, but Chris Lucky's in 10th, Samuel Collins 11th, and Brad Ryan's right there. So there's only a couple of seconds, for him to find himself inside the top 10, and that'd be a brilliant result considering his starting position.
Tony Ortridge and John Latham behind them having a go at it now.
Yeah, Ortridge has had his fair share of dramas through the night. Started in 11th place, finds himself in 13th at the moment, so maybe that Hyper Simulator Falcon just isn't quite to his liking at this stage. Just took it out that margin between Ruggier and Emerson. We said it was half a second before, and now it's 1.8 seconds. So is this tyre drop off? Is this car setup, or is this fuel saving? We're not quite sure just how much these guys need to save to go the distance. It's lap 16 of 25, but they don't want to be too racy and miss that magic mark as far as making it home with fuel.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting now as we're on lap 16. It's coming, getting to the back half of the race, so it's going to start becoming apparent now on who's good on fuel and who has to save a little bit more.
Just looking at the times, Ruggier's time was a 33.752 compared to Emerson's 34.3, so big difference there in lap times.
Brad Ryan now all over the back of Sam Collins in the green Falcon. He's going to look up the inside into the bus stop in the chicane.
Oh, it's going to be a tricky spot to get the job done. Needs a bit of cooperation from Collins. He thinks better of it, just tucks him behind, but no doubt Brad Ryan knows he's got the pace on board with that V8 Supercar Fan Group Falcon, so he doesn't want to do anything silly. It's a great pace considering how far he's come back. Oh, he's getting close
into the chicane. Look at that. And look just behind him as well. We've got Tony Orchard and John Latham right up on his rear bumper now.
I think we need to have maybe a bit of a nose cam on board with Brad Ryan. That'll give you a real indication of what sort of gains he can make on Collins in these braking marks.
Oh, he's sideways off the hairpin though. It looks like he's a lot better under the brakes in the mid-corner. Coming off the corners though, Collins seems to have looking after those rears a little bit more at the moment.
Just have a look. Robert Hartley looks like he's starting to have his way. He's just pulling a little bit of a margin over Mitch McLeod. I'd love to tap into these guys' fuel numbers. Of course, if you don't know what we're talking about, there are programs available. It's called iSpeed, where it'll give you accurate fuel data, where these guys will know exactly how much fuel they're burning each and every lap. So these guys know what sort of numbers they need to hit to make the race, and see, everyone will attack that differently, whether they decide to go hard at the start and save a bit at the end, or vice versa. Collins is feeling the pressure because he's getting quite curb hungry. You can get away with it a little bit during the race. Obviously, when you do that in qualifying, it does wipe your time. But a bit of a train now behind Collins, I should say, with Brad Ryan, Tony Autridge and John Latham all there.
Looking out, Brad Ryan still, it's a hard track to pass on, I must say. It's Ryan actually up on the log side. Not quite close enough. I was going to say, it does get pretty tight in some parts, so it can make it pretty hard to pass. Especially if you've got two guys that are, finding position like these two at the moment. Looks like Collins.
I believe we may be having a bit of a technical issue as far as server dropout, so we apologise. We'll try to rectify that as soon as we can. But Brad Ryan now maybe having a bit of a look up the inside of Collins. No, thinks better of it.
Oh, that'll be a brave place to try and pass down there. It's very tight on the mid-corner.
Ryan's really working. He's having a look at the inside, maybe a little bit of nose to tail contact from Brad Ryan. V8 Supercars Fan Group Falcon diving up the inside of Collins. Can he get the job done?
Contact!
Collins is in the wall! He's in Autridge! Autridge is hit too. Autridge will keep going, but Collins, that's game over for Collins with contact. Oh, unbelievable stuff with Brad Ryan in the V8 Supercar Fan Group Falcon, but Autridge looks like he may be parking it.
Can you believe it? Now to replay now. It looks like Brad Ryan had the inside run there on the Zolder Race Falcon, and Sam Collins got a little bit sideways out of the corner and just tagged his rear right and sent Collins hard into the fence. And as he's bounced off the tie barrier, look at this, Tony Autridge bang into the front right.
Geez, your heart goes out to Tony Autridge, an innocent bystander. That's the end of his race. He's had to abort. He's got massive damage to that Hyper Simulator Falcon, and he has had to park it. So bad luck there for Autridge.
Just further up, had a change of position. Karina's gotten past Matthew Hill. Not sure what's happened there. Track Racer Falcon might have got a little bit loose off one of the corners, and the Italian just zoomed on by him.
So lap 19 of 25, the positions are Justin Ruggier, 2.7 second lead over John Emerson, and Madison Down, who's slowly starting to pull in Emerson now. Vale Ritchie's in 4th, Robert Hartley 5th, Mitch McLeod in 6th, Michael Fabian 7th, Michael Corrida 8th, Matty Hill 9th, and Chris Lucky in 10th.
Looks like Mitchell McLeod is starting to really close in on Robert Hartley again. He fell off there a couple laps ago. Maybe he's happened to conserve a little bit more fuel again.
Geez, what an amazing turn of events. We were just commenting on Brad Ryan's pace up through the field, trying to knock on the door for a top 10 and that unfortunate incident. And, geez, you've got a feel for Tony Autridge being the innocent bystander.
Yeah, both Sam Collins and Tony Autridge, nothing they could do. It's like Brad, as I said, just got a little bit loose off the corner, and unfortunate for Collins, who's on the outside and just nudged his right rear into the fence he went.
Battle on screen. Thomas Guarini and Marty Atkins. These guys having a good little battle for 14th and 15th place. Oh, Marty, he maybe went a little bit too hot, but pulled it up nicely through that chicane. But he's not careful. He's got Carl May that's slowly starting to pull him in there.
Yeah, Carl's starting to catch these two. They've been battling pretty much all race, so... Actually on the last lap there, must have been a slow lap for Thomas and Marty, because the last lap Carl was a second slow. He's really starting to close that margin up on him this time by.
Check out this battle back up front, or towards the front. Hartley P5, Mitch McLeod and Tax.com Falcon in P6. Mitch has certainly had his fair share of racing. He's had a good run with Hartley most of the race, but hasn't quite had enough to get round him.
Yeah, he's got some speed, but just not quite enough to get past the Power 1 Falcon at the moment. Oh, look, he's a lot of curve. That's actually going to have to watch out. He doesn't get a slowdown for that one. And he has. There we go. He's slow. That's it. Mitchell McLeod slow down over too much curb through the first chicane there.
Can't tell you how easy that is to do because you're just having a red hot go and you're just focusing on the car in front. Mitch has unfortunately got that penalty and just had to drop out of it a little bit. So it's a nice little bit of breathing space for Robert Hartley.
Yeah, very easy to do when you're sort of really focused on that car in front, trying to follow what he does. And you know, we saw Rob use a lot of curb, so maybe Mitch just got tricked into it there and got a little bit more room than he did.
Because the one who loves the slowdown penalty from McLeod, Fabian. That brings Fabian right back of Mitchell McLeod. So I focus back up front. It's Justin Ruggier, our pole sitter. He had his work cut out for him in the opening stages of this race. John Emerson all over the back of him, but that margin is spread out quite nicely now. It's almost 3 seconds back to John Emerson for P2. But if Emerson's not careful, he's going to have Madison down all over him shortly. He's still got a couple of seconds up his sleeve, but I think Madison down just slowly, just trying to peg in Emerson as you can see him up front.
Yeah, it looks like Emerson's trying, but maybe he's up those tyres a little bit too hard at the start of the race.
Our man Val Ritchie's, we're hearing, just quite hungry through the curves.
I guess it'd be great to get Val on for a post-race interview one day. I don't think we've ever had him on from memory.
No, I'm not sure. Our stat man Seb might be able to tell us in the background, but no, I'm not quite sure. I don't know if we have or not. But really great driver. His pace has been incredible the last few weeks, and it's really good to see him. He's a regular in the top 5 now, and no, he's certainly not mucking about. And you know, him and Emerson, they've obviously shown they've got pretty good pace. Like we said, that Emerson's already snagged a win this season, so it's good to see that their pace is sort of getting stronger and stronger as the season goes on.
It's always good to see guys sort of, you know, really start to come up through the ranks in this series. We've got Brad Ryan under attack there from his teammate.
Yeah, teammates. They might not be covering the same skin for Brad Ryan's v8 Supercar fan group livery, but teammates nevertheless. How's the action there? John Latham just trying to get on the power just behind Brad Ryan. You can see the things moving around as you squirt on the power. Actually, a little birdie tells me in the ear that John Latham's the magic man with the setups and the spanner for the team. So obviously did a great job with Brad Ryan's car because his pace starting from 24th. It was good.
Yeah, it was a good run tonight from Brad from that far back, and if it wasn't for that accident he had with Sam Collins, he almost could have been in the top 10, I think. Mitchell McLeod really starting to close the back up on the back of Rob Hartley again in the final few laps. There's enough time to do it. The on board Mitchell as he comes over the rise, the left-hander king. Not going to be close enough this time into the hairpin.
Well, he knows he has to get on with it because as the guys cross the line this time by, there'll be 3 laps to go. Plenty of places where you can think about making a move, but you know, catching's one thing and passing's another, the old Formula 1 adage, but it is quite a tricky racetrack to get a clean passing move done.
They roll a little bit sideways up the final chicane. Sure now zigging this ag trying to maybe just put off Rob going into turn 1. It's actually Rob, there you go, look at that, perfect timing. Rob's going very wide down into turn 1.
Oh, he's going to have a look. Now can he try the crossover? Will he try and duck underneath him? Has he got enough to get that car turned in?
He gets the grip.
Power down. Now he'll get position, he'll get the job done. Now he's going to fight around the outside. Beautiful race here between Hartley and McLeod. McLeod's got the position.
Rob's going to have
given plenty of real estate between them.
Rob's got the better drive and the inside line into the next chicane. It was great driving there. As I said, it looks like Mitchell zigging and zagging in the mirror. Might have put him off a little bit to turn 1. Don't get a slow down this time, Mitchell.
Oh. This is incredible, the pace that McLeod's got all over the back of Hartley. They know they're running out of time, but really good give and take between these guys.
Now Mitchell knows he can pull alongside. He's going to try and stay close enough and do the same move again. Laps are running out. He's only got about 2 to go once he crosses the line. Oh, Robert Simon got the hairpin.
Hartley made a little mistake. Oh, contact with McLeod. McLeod holds on to it. The Tats.com Falcon almost into the fence. And this will bring Fabian right into it. He'll look up the inside, thinks better of it, but unbelievable. Just didn't quite get the run out of the turn Hartley needed, and that gave McLeod a look and a little bit of contact between those two.
Yeah, that's going to fire up Mitchell now. He's going to want to try and get past Robert Hartley. Not close enough into turn 1 this time by. You tell that he's pushing. He's on the limit now, Mitchell. He's got, you have to say he's going to be okay for fuel. Hopefully not too much damage there after that little bit of contact.
I think McLeod does, his car doesn't look too bad. It was just a slight little touch, just enough to unease the guys a little bit, but great racing between McLeod and Hartley.
So he's not going to be close enough into the chicane this time by. Looks Fabian, it's lost a bit of time, getting a bit loose behind. Oh, watch out on that curve, boys. Too late to be going away, throwing away time now.
Oh, to kill you right now, with only a lap and a half to go, the last thing you need is a slow down penalty.
Closing up, he's really good on the brakes a moment over Rob. Got to try and get a good run out of here and position himself close enough into the hairpin to maybe have a dive. At the back of Robert Hartley at the moment. Mitchell's not going to be close enough. Rob sideways again through the hairpin though. He is struggling with gripping those slow speed corners at the moment.
He needs to be careful. He doesn't want to make that mistake. One more lap to go because as the guys cross the line, it'll be the last lap. But if Hartley does it again next time round, that'll be Mitch's opening there to take that position away from him.
Justin Ruggie now coming across. This will be the final lap. He's got a 2.8 second lead over John Emerson. And 4.8 back to Madison down in P3. Can't take miles off this battle though at the moment for 5th and 6th.
Yeah, how good is it? I know Hartley would be sweating bullets because Hartley's had a pretty good run all race long and Mitch has been right there or thereabouts, but it's only in the last few laps where this has really tightened up. Of course, Mitch is a key part to the team here at v8sonline. Does a lot of our overlays and graphics and stuff for the broadcast, so it's good to see him having a red hot go and actually getting some airtime. But he's not mucking about now. He's moving around in the rearview mirror back of Hartley, and that's exactly what he needs to do.
All right, he's got a good run of that chicane too. He's running out of corners now to get this done. He's close to the back of Rob. It's going to be hard work to have a look up the inside. He's got the speed, but Rob goes defensive.
Using the alternate line, as Jay would say. Quickly have a big look up the front. It's Justin Ruggie will come into the final chicane. He's done it all race long, done a brilliant job, but he will be the winner for round 8 here at Circuit Zolder.
Into the hairpin now, Rob sideways off the kink over the rise there. Goes defensive, he's got to get a good round of here. He's really struggled the last few laps. Oh, and that's Mitchell this time that has a big slide. Got to watch out for Fabian.
Fabian will have a dive. He'll look up here. Sees that Mitchell McLeod didn't quite get the run. Fabian look up the inside. Not quite. Mitch late on the brakes. Brilliant job between these guys. No nose to tail contact. Absolutely clean as a whistle. Robert Hartley, Mitch McLeod, Michael Fabian. Brilliant run. As I say, that clean as a whistle. There was a bit of contact, but it was good hard racing. Brilliant stuff between those guys. Michael Carino will cross it for 8th. Matty Hill for 9th. Chris Lucky will round out your top 10.
What a battle it was there for Robert Hartley, Mitchell McLeod and Michael Fabian in those closing laps. It was hard to look away. Got Brad Ryan sideways over the line.
Just maybe celebrating a little bit. Not a bad charge, 11th on the grid when he started back in 24th. John Latham in 12th. Thomas Amram in 13th. Thomas Guarini 14th. Marty Atkins in 15th. No, Marty Atkins 14th. Carl May in 15th.
No, we lost Thomas Guarini.
Yeah, he's slipping down the order.
Actually, I've lost him altogether now, so I'm not sure if he's had a dropout or if he's had an accident the last lap. I can't see him anywhere. Oh, is that the hairpin? Is he out of the fuel? Yeah, listen to that engine now. As he comes in heavy, he's out of fuel on the last lap.
We
Thomas
mentioned
Guarini.
we mentioned they had to save a bit of fuel, just didn't quite have enough. Half a lap out of fuel, unbelievable stuff.
After running in about P14, going to finish well down the order now. Very bold, he got a little bit close to the hairpin there. Looks like Runton also gets Thomas for 17, so Thomas will finish in P18 after that.
Unbelievable. Like I said, Jason Brunton 17th, Greeny 18th, Sean Kelly 19th, Mate Larinsky in 20th, 21st Samuel Collins, Tony Autridge 22nd, Wayne Hewitt 23rd, and we've got Jonathan Salini in 24th and Lee Ellis in 25. Well, geez, didn't we have our work cut out for that one? It was real nose to tail action up the front. In the end, Justin just sort of started to walk away with it and finished with a 3-second gap, I think, in the end.
Yeah, I mean, the opening few laps was really good there. It looked like John had the pace over Justin and was trying to get past, and then maybe had to conserve a little bit of fuel towards the end, and Justin ran away with about a 3-second margin for the win. But like I said, that battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th was absolutely fantastic between Robert Hartley, Mitchell McLeod, and Michael Fabian.
Now, as always, we'll endeavour to get as many drivers as we can into the commentary box, but a brilliant race for round 8 of the championship. And of course, next week it's enduro time. We head to Phillip Island for round 9 of the Iracing V8 Supercar Series, 38 laps, and it's going to be a brilliant race. I'm actually looking forward to it. I know you don't.
At least that's one of us looking forward to Phillip Island.
I think it'll be a ripper.
Oh, depends on your definition of ripper, but it's not one of my personal favourite tracks. But you know, everyone's in the same boat. We're all going to put up with it. I don't understand how some people actually like it though. But anyway,
so we just wait for a couple of people to pop into the commentary box. At the moment, well, we can see we've got Rob Hartley who's here at the moment. Rob, you definitely had your hands full. Great little battle with you and Mitch in the closing stages there.
Yeah, I'm glad they don't have the Sport Tracker heart rate monitor on me, because I dare say I would have broken it. I think I'm still breaking it. It's going 1,000 miles an hour.
Mate, you've got to be absolutely over the moon with your pace. You know, in the last couple of months, you're always there or thereabouts, and now sneaking in the top 5. It's not a bad effort, buddy.
Oh, can't complain. Yeah, no, it's brilliant. I said last week I was looking forward to Zolder, and yeah, it all seems to be working out. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I get to miss next week. I'll be out of town, so.
oh, lucky you.
Yep, I'm with you, Corey. I'm happy to miss Phillip Island.
Oh, we appreciate your time, mate. Well done. As we see a couple other people sliding into the commentary box, and someone who just noticed who's just put on the headset, our winner for round 8 here at Circuit Zolder, Justin Ruggier, mate. Well done. Brilliant lap in qualifying, and you pretty much had everything your own way, although John was nose to tail there for the opening laps. Tell us a bit about your race.
Yeah, guys, that was an intense race, that's for sure, and congratulations to John and Madison for 2nd and 3rd. But yeah, it was a very difficult race from my end. I mean, obviously, you know, from sitting here, you have to consider so many things. You know, do I make a run for it? Do I look after the tyres? Am I using too much fuel? So once everything was in balance, and you know, I felt comfortable with the car and felt that I was driving pretty good, I tried to press on and break away from John, but he drove brilliantly and put on heaps of pressure.
Now, in a way, your Achilles heel sometimes, you know, especially in the last sort of, you know, seasons gone by, has been fuel saving. But you did everything right, mate, and it didn't crack under the pressure. John was right there, but you know, fuel numbers not too bad tonight, mate. You did everything right.
Yeah, I'd done a race last night and managed to save a whole lap of fuel, so that didn't work out right. And then that race, then I had about half a litre left, so it worked out really well. And like I said, just managed the tyres. I could see John struggling a little bit mid-turn when he was in my dirty air, so just wanted to try and use up his tyres a little bit so I could have something left in the bag at the end, just in case he had something up his sleeve as well.
Speaking of John Emerson, our second place getter tonight, John, mate, a brilliant battle. It was awesome to watch that battle with you and Justin. How was it from your seat?
Yeah, I was really surprised with my pace tonight. It all sort of came together about a couple of hours ago, just mucking around with the setup, and yeah, it felt really good. But Justin was just too good, too consistent tonight. His car was a lot better out of the corners, and I just didn't have the drive to sort of keep up with him, and I was pushing really hard just to stay with him and stay in that draft. And yeah, I think I just burned my tyres off a bit too much, and then got stuck watching the rearview mirror and saw Madison getting closer and closer, and didn't want him to get past. I really wanted to beat him, so I was pretty happy with that.
And a nice little gain in final qualifying too, mate, because coming into qualifying you were P3 behind Madison and used to jump in. So that's always good going into the race.
Yeah, it's not every day you out qualify a 5-time champion, so I was pretty stoked with that.
And speaking of the 5-time champion, Madison Down joins us in the commentary box, mate. P3, looks like the guys got away from you on that margin, was just probably a little bit too big to pull in the end.
Yeah, let the gap get out a little bit too far. It was pretty bad from the start actually. I got a shocker start again, so dropped the spot straight away. But I made a mistake in the first chicane and got a slow down cut track penalty for that. So my strategy would have worked out a little bit better if I hadn't have had that happen. I was saving a lot more fuel than I needed to in the opening laps of the race, and so it was a shame I dropped 2 or 3 seconds there. But I was chasing John pretty hard there at the end, as he said, just couldn't quite get it done.
Yeah, we were all concerned. We weren't sure if you had any damage or if there was car issues or if it was fuel saving. How was the fuel saving side of things? Because we weren't quite sure in the commentary box just how much you had to save.
Yeah, fuel saving for me was fine. I had enough to get home from half race distance, which was the plan. I knew I didn't have the speed tonight to match Justin on outright speed, so I had to try something a little bit different. And so I did that, and I was able to press on from halfway in the race. But I had the starting pressures in the tyres a little bit wrong, and I just cooked the tyres, so I didn't quite have as much pace in the back end of the race as what I wanted, but still happy with third. Not bad points for the championship tonight, and well done to Justin, smashed us, and well done to John on the podium.
Just have a look through the commentary box too. Matty Hill's joined us. Matty started 10th, finished 9th. Probably not one of your glorious days of racing, but still not a bad result.
Yeah, any top 10's a good top 10, I suppose. I've got to apologise to Lee Ellis on the third corner. I made a setup change 5 minutes before the race, hoping that the tyres would be better looked after, but the car was just backwards. I knew that from the first turn. Really struggled with pace. Struggled at this track for some reason. I just don't agree with it. Yeah. So, but still top 10. Happy with that.
It's always that fine gamble, isn't it? When you make a last-minute change, if it's untested, you can go from hero to zero quite quickly, and unfortunately, it just didn't quite go your way. Was it like a chassis change? Was it a tyre change? Like, don't give away too many secrets, but what sort of vicinity? What sort of things did you change that sort of didn't quite work for you?
Oh, it was a tyre pressure change and a rear suspension sort of rebound setting. It really made the car go backwards big time. I was much faster in the first race tonight than I was with the main race.
And Brad Ryan slipped into the commentary box. Pretty much probably got the drive of the night. Started in P24, had your fair share of dramas there, Brad, and brought it home for 11th place, I see.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. It was good to beat the other guys in the team who worked their ass off all week. But no, it's a pretty nice race. Had some up and downs, but better than doing my diff assignment, that's for sure.
And no qualifying through the week, mate. Just a bit of a busy schedule there at home.
Yeah, it's sort of like that. But yeah, I wasn't even going to race, and then I got a message from John telling me I probably should. So jumped on with about 20 minutes to go, and got a set up off Sean in the race warm up, and yeah, just had to go. That's all you can do.
Did he move over for you? What you asked him to?
No, but I had John behind me in the last couple of laps saying that he's got more fuel and that I should move over, but I was just like, you know what, have a go, mate.
Oh, no doubt the boys at V8 Supercar Fan Group would be happy with your charge. It's a good effort, mate, especially in this category. Plenty of quick drivers there, and to charge from 24th to 11th, you've got to be pretty happy with that, mate.
Over the moon. It's sort of good to have a race back. It's hard to go away from this series for more than a couple of weeks without people sort of trying to get you back. But no, it's good fun. Hopefully next week I can do it again.
All right, speaking of next week, round 9 of the Iracing V8 Supercar Championship, we head to Phillip Island. It's enduro time, 38 laps. We'll start with you, Justin, mate. Are you looking forward to Phillip Island?
Yeah, definitely. Phillip Island probably be one of my favourite tracks, and looking forward to going there and hopefully put on a good show. It's going to be difficult. I'm racing at Bathurst this weekend for the Festival of Speed, so really looking forward to that. So I won't be practicing until Sunday night, unfortunately.
And what about everyone else? We've still got a number of drivers join us in the commentary box. Your thoughts on next week as we head to Phillip Island, boys?
Plenty of Powerade.
It's a good track, really fast flowing. It's going to be important to get the setup right. It's a terrible track on tyres, so if you're not careful, you can screw the tyres in about 2 laps. So yeah, it should be a close race.
Bit of a terrible track all around, isn't it, Madison?
It's a beautiful track.
Yeah, it's really flowing, fast and flowing. I love Phillip Island. It's great.
Yeah, same.
Good with the setup. Hint, hint.
Well, I think that'll about do us. Appreciate you guys taking out some time and chatting us to in the commentary box. It's always good to get your thoughts and pick your brains on how your race went. So we appreciate your time and thanks for stopping by, fellas.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
And big thanks to you, Corey, too, for slipping into the co-driver's seat, mate. We saw a brilliant race at Circuit Zolder.
Yeah, some fantastic racing all night long, and I'm still, still pumped up after watching Mitchell, Rob, and Fabian in those closing laps. But it's been good to be back in the V8 commentary box the last few rounds. I think hopefully if Jay's feeling a bit better, he can jump back in next week, and I'll continue with the race to reality. And Grand Am might even have a steer next week in the V8, but it's at Phillip Island, so we'll have to see how I feel after Tuesday.
Now, speaking of race to reality, don't forget to tune in Wednesday night at 8:50, where Race Centre has brought us this amazing competition, Race to Reality, for your chance to win a drive in the Aussie racing car at the final round at Homebush for the V8 Supercar Series. And of course, it's round 6 at Oran Park, I believe. I'm getting told in the ear, so don't forget to tune in for that. And of course, Thursday night, we've got the Grand Am Series, and that's on at 9:45, where the McLarens and the DPs will battle it out. Of course, a big thanks to Seb, who's behind the scenes, who works extremely hard putting this V8s online together each and every week. So I appreciate your time, Seb, and fingers crossed we'll have Jay Kennedy back next week if he recovers nicely through the week. All right, well, that's about it for V8s Online tonight. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. It's been a brilliant race. Your winner for round 8 from Circuit Zolder, Justin Ruggier.
Woo!